Hello, Wizard World virtual experiences. Welcome as you applaud wildly from the safety of your home. Let's also see all those thumbs up and heart emojis out there. Boy, do we have a treat for you today. I am your host, Mike G. You can follow me at Mike G Does Things, but more importantly than that, please follow at Wizard World on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We are live streaming and bringing the con experience to the safety of your home on Twitch, Facebook Live, and YouTube. So please, we have some amazing offerings coming up. Not only are we providing these free panels to you during this time, but also there are some paid exclusive experiences that include one-on-one chats with our celebrity guests, custom recorded messages, and autographs. And a special treat for this next gentleman, you can get his book, Buseyisms, Gary Busey's Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth, signed by the man himself. All of those can be purchased at wizd.me/virtual. You can also click on Gary's face at the bottom of the screen, and it'll take you directly to that link. So please, all of those are on sale throughout the panel. This is a once-in-a-lifetime exclusive experience with a legendary actor. And again, all of those are available throughout the panel. And then we'll move on to the one-on-one video chats, and then you'll be able to purchase autographs, recorded messages, and buy Gary's book throughout the night. So definitely check that out. In addition to all those amazing things, please check out the Wizard World Vault. It's at wizardworldvault.com, where we have signed memorabilia and amazing works of art from our artists and vendors. Again, that is at wizardworldvault.com. All right, that's all the housekeeping. Without further ado, I'm getting chills just thinking about this. We were talking just a little while ago, and now we're going to bring him live to you now. One of my personal favorite actors of all time. He has starred in over 150 films, including some of the greatest action movies of all time: Lethal Weapon, Predator 2, Silver Bullet, Under Siege, and Point Break, just to name a few. He is a musician. He has a best-selling book, which I mentioned you can purchase now and get it signed. He is a voiceover actor and reality TV star, and he was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actor for his portrayal of Buddy Holly in the Buddy Holly story. All my digital fans out there watching from around the world, please help me by applauding in your home, throwing some thumbs up and likes and hearts out there as we welcome this legendary actor to our virtual stage. Please help me in welcoming Mr. Gary Busey, everybody. How was that, Gary?
It was incredible. That was just incredible.
Thank you.
I couldn't wait for, it was incredible.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is an honor, not only for myself personally, but the thousands of fans that are watching from around the world right now. So again, thank you for taking your time and sharing this brief moment with us here for the next half hour or so. We appreciate it.
Well, this is an honor for me to be selected by you to come on and speak of my purpose, my love, and my giving ability, which is heavenly.
It completely is heavenly. And I know us as fans out there are feeling heavenly right now that you're joining us, albeit virtually, for this amazing chat and conversation. We have a ton of questions that I'd like to get through. Your career is littered with hundreds and hundreds of films and accolades, and I'd like to kick things off. Previous to this live experience, you and I were chatting, and I noticed your glasses, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I just rewatched the Buddy Holly story this weekend. Are those them? Tell us about those glasses you have on there."
When the movie started in 1978, we shot it, and his mother, Buddy's mother, gave me these glasses and said these are his.
Amazing.
So you wear these glasses, you go be Buddy.
Wow. Well,
no acting required.
but gosh, no acting required. The amount your portrayal is so beautiful, and obviously led to an Academy Award nomination. And you know, just looking up more information about you prior to that movie, I didn't realize, and now I do, that you were a professional musician prior to your getting into films and television. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
I know the rubber band. And then specifically, this is a question from one of the fans watching at Edward Ronaned and Mark Tade. How did being Teddy Jack Eddie, another one of your bands, in Tulsa, these are some Tulsa locals asking this question now, how did that ultimately influence your career, being in Teddy Jack Eddie, the rubber band, and then moving on from your musicianship to film?
Everything you do in your life enhances what your purpose of life is.
Sure.
There was a local television show in Tulsa, and I did it with my good friend Gaylord Sartain, and I didn't have a name. I said, "What's my name going to be?" He said, "Teddy Jack Eddie." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Why did you choose that name?" He said, "Never trust a man with three front names." I said, "Okay, thank you." I became Teddy Jack Eddie. Leon saw the show,
Right.
Leon Russell, who I played drums with, recorded with, lived with, toured with. He saw the show and thought I was Teddy Jack Eddie. Really? Well, really I am, but that was a name for the show. So he put me down as Teddy Jack Eddie. He loved that name. And he named his son Teddy Jack Bridges,
Wow.
who is now my godson, wonderful musician. And it was quite an experience. What happens in life that you don't expect can be an expectation you knew subconsciously, but didn't know consciously. And the idea is to accept those responsibilities you're given by the purpose of the giving that it is. Because when you accept a gift, it enables you to give a gift 10 times more stronger than the gift you were giving. Okay?
Swallow wrong.
That's you're amazing. Other half Stephanie in the background. We thank her as well for all of her help today.
Stephanie, my soulmate, the mother of our son.
Oh, yes.
Just incredible connection. There's Stephanie. That was her hand in front of my mouth.
Let's
Pretty-
talk about that music career. Obviously, it led to your casting as Buddy Holly, but
No,
ultimately?
no.
Oh,
It did not.
tell us.
It did not. It did not. The rubber band. I transferred from Kansas State to Oklahoma State University.
Right.
I was teaching Sigmund Chi. They invited me into the house. They had a guitar player, a bass player, and a piano player, but they didn't have a drummer. I said, "I'll play drums." And so that's the rubber band. We formed there.
Wow.
And I took the rubber band in 1967 to Los Angeles on the original Route 66. We all four went. And we made a deal with Epic Records and recorded that under the name of CARP, C-A-R-P, which is a trash fish. Anyway, there was a different mindset at that time.
Sure.
And it's just beautiful the way life goes out and goes on and comes in, and the purpose of it when you let it happen naturally.
Oh, yes.
And don't get in your own way. That's forbidden.
So, was there a specific moment or point that you decided to transition from professional music into TV and film and acting?
No, there's not a professional moment in art. Art is only the search. It is not the final form. When it comes along, it takes you. You don't take it.
Wow.
And it puts you in a place where your artistic endeavors are enhanced by your awareness and where you are in that moment in your life to express art in a beautiful, truthful way without thinking.
Wow.
Acting is the absence of acting. It's believing in the truth of the moment you're creating from your heart at that time without thinking. That's art.
Wow.
You don't think when you're doing art. You just let it be.
Oh my gosh. If you are watching at home and this doesn't make you want to buy Gary Busey's book, I don't know where you are on the planet, because you get this and much more in the book. So again, thank you to yourself. And I know Stephanie helped write that for providing us that story on text.
Well, the book, let me tell you about the book. It's
Yep.
a story about what all I've been through. Stephanie wrote the book. on a computer. Took her 10 months. And it is a beautiful tell-all book. And it's motivational and inspiring to people who read it. And it's funny. And it's a good story about things that happened to me in my life. Big deal. But it was my life it's my life I'm talking about. And it's very interesting. It's interesting to me because it's me. It's interesting to everybody else because they don't expect what can't be expected.
Wow. You mentioned a few beats back that art just happens, right? And you roll with it and you allow it to take control.
Say that again. Say that again.
Oh, I just said you said a little while ago that art just happens and you're along for the ride and you let it take over and take control and guide you through your life.
You don't let it take over. It already has taken over.
Yeah, amazing. I would love to hear then, before we even get to the Buddy Holly story, which is an amazing film, you let art happen, and it took you to a film called Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, starring Clint Eastwood and Jeff Bridges. How was it being on set with Clint Eastwood? Were you a fan of his prior? Had you known of his success? And then how did that ultimately shape your artistic life?
It's just natural. It's just like going to work as everybody else goes to work. You go on the set, you meet the people, you do the scenes, and then you go home. It was no big deal. It was just great working with Jeff because we've done 3 movies together and he's a soulmate of mine. Jeff Bridges. We did Lolly Madonna War, Last American Hero, and Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. Still very much connected. And he's a great man, a great father, a great husband. His 3 beautiful daughters and his wife, Sue. Everything's wonderful there. And Jeff and I have been in past lifetimes together.
You then move on and you work with the legend as well, Barbara Streisand, in A Star Is Born. Was that a similar experience? It's work as normal, work as usual. I'm here on set, or were there any extraordinary happenings or experiences that took place on that set in that film?
Well, yeah, the one time we came out, Barbara and I and Chris Stofferson went in to see the dailies. Dailies are the film we shot yesterday. And we came out and she said, "BUSEY." I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Now I know what to tell you to do to get you to do things my way." And I said, "What's that, Barbara?" "Tell you the opposite." I said, "You're close, but you didn't win the guitar." And she was on the money. She's a beautiful co-creator sister of art in a beautiful her only way.
Oh, 100%. She is one of a kind, just like yourself. So, man, the powerhouses of both you together is incredible.
I was driving down PCH, Pacific Coast Highway, the other day, and I heard this in my window come out on the outside of my car. "Gary, Gary!" I looked out and it was Barbara waving hi. Gary!
You mentioned a guitar. She was trying to win over a guitar from you?
She wasn't trying to win anything. She's already won everything she is.
100%.
Just like you have, and all the people on your panel, and everyone you know, and your family, and strangers. And let me tell you about. I learned this years ago.
Yes.
Everybody thinks they have an enemy. Well, enemies are here to show you things. To show you things you need to change.
Right.
Okay. So an enemy is not an enemy. It's a friend in reverse. You don't have enemies. You just have teachers. Everybody's a teacher, whether they know it, like it, or want it or not. We're all teachers.
Is there a particular person in your life that you would consider either your greatest teacher or your greatest enemy that has taught you the most?
I don't have enemies. That's not my vocabulary. A man named James Best, he passed away several years ago, met me when he was doing new talent exploration at Screen Gems. And I had 3 scenes in a monologue, and he took me to his workshop. It was called Camera Technique and Film Awareness for 3 years. And he told me when it was time for me to see about an agent. Not until then.
Right.
And that's my foundation of entering this business called show business. Great man, great man. God bless James Best, and name messages.
Amazing. And was he with you prior to Buddy Holly's story, or was this an individual that came in later in your life?
I don't understand your question.
Just this gentleman you mentioned, he gave you good advice.
What gentleman?
James Best.
James Best. Yeah, remember his name. Yeah. What about him?
Oh, I was just curious at what point he entered your life and how, what James Best's influence was.
Did you understand him?
Yeah, did you meet him before or after the Buddy Holly story? Did you work?
Oh, I met him way before I started acting professionally.
Oh, wow.
He was a big brick in the foundation of my experience in learning how to be aware of what it's like on a set and what it's like. And I came from theater doing plays.
Sure.
So that's the opposite of movies. And he told me a great thing to do, and I did it. First day of my first film was a TV show called High Chaparral. And he said, go around to the head of every department. Camera, sound, props, grips, makeup, hair, and tell them, if there's anything I can do for you to help you, please let me know. And I had 1 day's work with no dialogue. I ended up with 3 days work and 7 lines, simply because I told the crew members I would help them. And they said, let's help this guy. It works when you're complimentary to the people you're going to be working with that are in departments that make the film a film.
Wow. It's amazing. And I cannot, I told you before and prior to going live that I had ordered your book on Barnes & Noble weeks ago. And unfortunately, due to the current situation, it's not coming until Monday. So I cannot wait. It's such an honor to hear these stories live, and then I can't wait to relive them in your book. So again,
well, the book is filled with surprises,
yep.
Intrigue. It's motivating, it's inspiring, funny, strange, and truthful.
Yeah. Hey, it's all about being truthful, right? And that's what you give us, and that's why we love you. So thank you.
I would like to ask from my heart that everybody hearing this goes out and gets the book. Not because I want to sell them, but because I want to give them the gift of understanding the truth of the love and the giving power of life as it came to me.
Let's talk.
I'm still in life, yes.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Buddy Holly story. Beautiful film, again, that I had seen and a bunch of us had seen a while back, and I rewatched it recently. The amount and the integrity of the music scenes in that are incredible. They really recreated a lot of Buddy's memorable performances. Is there one in the movie that particularly stood out to you while shooting it, or is there one you? Sorry.
Is there what?
Is there one musical number in the Buddy Holly story that stands out to you as particularly memorable out of all of the amazing performances?
Well, that's a good question. All the songs Buddy wrote were classic.
Yes.
Beginning of rock and roll, 1956, 57, 58, and 59. When I did the scene where Buddy played on the Ed Sullivan Show, 2 security guards brought me the prototype of the first Telecaster Leo Fender made.
Wow.
That guitar played itself, and you naturally sing from your heart when you have that kind of gifted instrument in your hand. It was like Leo Fender's electric toy.
Yeah.
And I had 2 chances to steal it, borrow it, rather. I was going to borrow it, but I had a feeling in me that said no. That was Buddy. That was Buddy's spirit. And I realized 2 months after the movie, Buddy Holly's spirit was singing through me. I was the messenger. And it was beautiful because I sang all the songs in the key he wrote them in. I'm from Texas, he's from Texas, so be it. You know what's great about living in a part of Texas that's so flat?
What's that? 14
miles. You know what's beautiful about that, living there?
What is
that? You can watch your dog run away for 2 weeks. Anyway.
Amazing. Amazing.
That's all amazing about it.
What
kind of name is Gregoric?
Yes. What did you say about what did you ask?
What name is the heritage of Gregoric?
It is Polish in heritage.
Polish, yay.
Yeah.
Great.
What are your nationalities? I know we talked a little bit about this before going live. How about BUSEY?
BUSEY is French.
Oh.
My great uncle was a classical piano player named Claude Debussy.
Yes.
His great song was Clair de Lune, which
famous.
means I love the moon. He loved the moon. And he smoked a lot of funny cigarettes, so most of his music would put you to sleep. But that was good. Meditating on a beautiful sound from a piano, that's lovely. And Bussey got changed to BUSEY, B-U-S-E-Y.
Wow.
And my dad, Native American, 1/4 Delaware, and the Cherokee bloodline entered my family line in 1691. So French, Native American, English, and Irish. That's
Wow.
what I know about that. You know, I got a great thing for you guys who probably don't know this. Do you know where Irish families go on vacation?
Where do Irish families go on vacation?
A different bar.
the,
I'm not that funny on what's today? Tuesday.
the bar down the street. Wow. So you had not only the spirit of Buddy Holly playing through you, but also Claude Debussy, famous classical musician. It's amazing. You mentioned
a bloodline. Claude Debussy is my bloodline. Buddy Holly is my soulmate, spiritual brother.
You mentioned not taking his guitar, but you do have his glasses. Were there any other things from that film, any other instruments that you used in the film that you still have in your possession today?
No. Well, yeah, this one here, this one right here.
There it is.
Baby, I'll have you. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna be. You're gonna give your love to me. My love for you has got to be real. Love for you not fade away. That song.
Oh.
All of his songs are classic, but that might be my favorite. No, they're all my favorites.
Well, and tell everyone, you told me prior to going live, but tell everyone the history of that specific guitar you're holding.
When I was in California in 1966, we came out, 4 of us in the rubber band on the original Route 66. And I played drums and sang the songs, but I wanted to learn how to play guitar. So I got this guitar at Beecher's Musical Store on Ventura Boulevard. And this guitar was used in the recordings of the of the Rubber Band album on Epic and the Buddy Holly story. So it's classical. It's priceless.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And just to let you know, because you can't, the fans are loving your quick jam session that you just provided.
What?
The fans loved your
The fans out there on Facebook and Twitch are loving that you just gave them that jam session. So thank you.
They loved it.
Maybe, baby, I'll have you. Maybe, baby, you'll be true. Maybe, baby, I'll have you someday. It's funny, honey, you don't care. You never listen to my prayer. Maybe, baby, I'll have you someday. There you go. Maybe, baby.
Awesome. Come on. That's amazing. Gary Busey, everybody. My gosh.
Yay.
Woo! I wish we had the live crowd because we would be on their feet right now cheering for you. So thank you for that.
That's good if they're on their feet. That means they're standing up, the blood flowing, and they're getting healthy.
100%. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to quickly transition because we have limited time, and your
No,
career.
hey, you don't have unlimited time with me.
No,
You
that's what I
talk
mean.
as long as we go, and then you edit
Perfect.
Live,
Perfect.
Dave, with no editing.
it.
We're
Okay.
live. We're alive, Gary.
Okay, we're live. Let's forget the editing.
But I would love some of the greatest action movies of the 80s and 90s. You transitioned into these films, and they're films that we all grew up on. The Lethal Weapon one that later led to the Lethal Weapon series, Under Siege, Predator 2. Oh my gosh. I would love to hear your first experience working with Richard Donner, Mel Gibson, Danny
Richard Donner.
Glover. Tell us about
Donner talk like this. Okay, where's Gibson and Busey? Hip hop, get out here on the set. The fight scene we did, we rehearsed it 1 hour a day at lunch 1 month before we shot it. And it had 122 movements in it. It was 4 martial arts: Taekwondo, Capoeira from Brazil, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu from Brazil, and Jailhouse Rock,
Right.
martial art created in prison for fighting in close quarters. Full speed. And Dick Donner said, we want to climax this film with a great fight scene.
Yeah.
It took us 5 nights to film, from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Wow.
And Mel, wonderful partner, soulmate, contributor to the success of many films that he's been in, and the success of this one. And people said, Gary, you play villains. You got to quit playing villains. You got to quit playing the antagonists. You got to quit playing the bad guys. And I say, I don't play bad guys, villains or antagonists. I play people who are misunderstood by the public.
Yes.
Hey.
Oh, that's exactly leading into my next question. You never played just a basic bad guy. They were misunderstood, like you said. Was there one that particularly stood out to you, whether it's Mr. Joshua from Lethal Weapon, or Under Siege, or Predator?
What are you talking about? What stood out to me?
Oh, just was there a particular role that was your favorite? The folks are asking at home. Lily Ann Gill specifically, was there a favorite? Again, not bad guy or antagonist, just part that stood out to you.
Buddy Holly, Charles Hardin Holly, Buddy Holly. Yeah.
And what's amazing is that you're so diverse. I mean, you were able to play a musician, you play bad guys, you play good guys. One of my favorite family films of all time that I grew up on was Rookie of the Year with Coach Chet. How about that? Tell me about the transition from action movies to Rookie of the Year, working with a child actor, Thomas Ian Nicholas.
Okay, well, here's the deal.
Yeah.
Acting roles that you play are like all the 7 colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. And each color has a different shade in it to the character you're playing.
Sure.
I assume that plays naturally, and there's no acting required. I did have to learn how to pitch properly in the professional form. I came into my motorhome one day, and my trainer, Tim Stoddard, said, Gary, look at your right hand. And I looked at it like this, okay? There's no, put it down to your side. Now look at it. My right arm is 2.5 inches longer than my left arm because I've been pitching for 4.5 hours for the camera. I had physical therapy after every day of pitching, and it was wonderful. That was about 25 years ago.
I know. My gosh. It's amazing how time.
Yeah, Wrigley Field.
How amazing was that? Being
right now, on you're talking, field. But I don't hear you.
Oh, sorry. How?
Talking, I don't hear you.
My fault. Let me check my mic. How was that working on being on Wrigley Field and filming those scenes?
It was out of all the baseball stadiums in this country, that was the most sacred church to be in.
Yeah.
On that field. Wow, the history there.
Woo.
That's where Babe Ruth pointed out there to left field because he's going to hit that home run for that kid in the hospital. And he did it.
Wow.
Whack! The Babe.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. The history of this planet and this country and everybody in it and on it is just amazing. Everyone is amazing. Everyone is a gift. Everyone is a miracle.
Thank you, Gary. That should be what we leave with. That amazing sentiment is beautiful. But
Can
I want
you,
to talk. What's
can
that?
you talk slower?
Yes,
Can you
100%.
please talk slower?
You
No, I
know what
can't
it is?
hear you.
Check. Can you hear me now? I think that I'm getting very excited hearing these amazing stories. And again, speaking for all the fans watching, thank you for providing us
Oh,
with
hey, I got
amazing.
more to say.
Let's go.
That's what I'm waiting for.
I'd love to talk and rewind a tiny bit to Point Break. At the time, it was an awesome film and has developed this, I hesitate to say cult status because I think it's an amazing film by itself. But did you know at the time how long, what the legacy that film would have for the action film industry?
All the films I do, which have been about 170, I know the legacy will last forever because that's the way art is. To me, my feeling, my heart.
Well, and I think
We made Point Break in 1991.
Yes. And folks are
Catherine
still
Bigelow,
watching.
director, incredible director, Catherine Bigelow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Tell us about, are there any specific stories working with Catherine or Keanu or Patrick? What an amazing cast. Any specific stories from the filming of that film in particular that stand out as particularly memorable to you?
Yeah, it was all automatic, free flying, free thinking, no acting, just performing.
Yeah.
And the way she directed it gave us that comfort zone of relaxing and moving into the freedom of what art and the expression of art is.
Beautiful.
Which is free. The word art, A-R-T.
Yes.
That stands for above real truth.
Wow.
Wow. That stands for, hey. Wow. W-O-W.
Yes.
That stands for walking on water. That's Stephanie.
Amazing. I'm writing all of these down right now to look back on for sure. You mentioned that Catherine Bigelow allowed no acting, right? Freedom of expression. And one of your most famous lines of all time wasn't even scripted. Is that right? I'd love to hear the story of Utah. Get me to.
Well, what happened was Keanu and I pulled up and I said, hey, listen, it's time for lunch. We've got to get something to eat. And he said, Angelo, it's only 10 o'clock. I said, that's okay. Go around that corner and give me a meatball sandwich. And so all the way he was walking, there was nothing to be said. It was dead air. So I looked out the window and said, Utah, give me two meatball sandwiches. And that line, I hear that a lot from people in airports and on the street. And the other line was when the cops in the bank after the bank robbery asked me, where do the robbers go? And I said, I don't know. They vanished like a virgin on prom night. Catherine heard that and said, put that in.
Amazing.
So she was listening and available to everything that was said, the freedom of the art it is. Yay, Catherine.
Yeah, she's an amazing director. And she trusted you as a performer, as an actor, to make your choices. Am I right?
What?
She trusted you to live in the moment and act in the moment and make your own choices, which is amazing.
That was the reason for casting me. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, so good. You mentioned you hear Utah, give me two a lot these days, and it's because you yourself, Gary Busey, have become such a cultural icon. You know, you can't say your name out loud without vividly picturing who you are and the amazing human being that you are. And I'm wondering, at some point, probably.
That's very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, and I'm very excited to be here, so I appreciate you taking the time. But in the early 2000s, you became such a cultural icon that you were not only acting still, but you were known for being yourself as the cultural icon in, Entourage and The Simpsons and I'm with Busey. How was that moment in your life knowing that people knew you and wanted to see you as just the man, Gary Busey?
I don't think of it that way. I think of the art in question that I'm doing and let it be what it is.
Sure.
It's simple. Don't get in your own. I don't get in my way. I don't get in my way. I don't think when I'm doing it. When I'm doing the show.
One of your most recent iconic performances. We're streaming on Twitch, which is notoriously known for video game players. And one of the greatest games of all time is Grand Theft Auto. And one of the best characters of all time is Phil Cassidy. I would love to hear about your experience voicing a video game character.
It's very strange because it's nothing like making a film or doing a play. You're watching somebody on the video and he's got wires on him and little dots on the wires. And the way he's moving, I'm to move that way while I'm saying the line. So the line will go with the posture that the character in the show is creating.
Right.
It was different. It was different. It was like a fish out of water, but that's okay. If I'm a fish out of water, I'll just walk to the next pond, get in and breathe with my gills.
Did you get a chance to play the game or see your performance?
Yeah.
Amazing. How was that? How was that seeing your voice come through a different looking animated character?
No difference in what I am, really.
Yeah. You mentioned it's different than film and play. And I found it very interesting at the start of our conversation that you said you started in plays and theater. You actually came back to New York recently. And this is from a fan, Joe Woes, who's watching. He said he was walking through New York City and saw a sign that read, "Gary Busey is God," which he thought was a great sign, but then realized it was for only human. What was that experience like coming back to theater and the stage with a live audience?
Oh, I love it a lot. That's instant gratification.
Yeah.
You can get your energy going in a way that is synchronized right into the audience's energy of hearing it for the first time. And it's inspiring and motivating to the player, to the actors on the stage.
Right.
It was a lovely experience. And I love doing plays. I just love living. I love living with a purpose, and the purpose I have is really simple. It's just being me in the best way I can be.
So good. Yeah. We have your college coach from Coffeyville Community College tuned in, is watching, and has a question. Coach Vogel from EMCC was curious, big fan. He is a big fan of the show I'm with Busey, which was an amazing reality show. He's wondering, the tearing down the tent scene, was that scripted or did that happen live? Because it made him laugh.
Again.
The tearing down.
Say it again. He's talking too fast.
No worries. The tearing down the tent scene in I'm with Busey, Coach Vogel would like to know how that came about, because he said he's never laughed harder in his entire life than watching that scene with you in I'm with Busey.
Well, I just instantly found my purpose as a tent destructive tornado in a human body. And that's what I saw, and that's what I did with what I saw in me, and therefore the tent got removed quickly.
Boom.
Yeah. Take me camping with you. I'll set you up quick and tear it down fast. No, don't take me camping with you. I can't do that. I'm already engaged.
Speaking of that, you have a beautiful son, Luke, with Stephanie. I know your son, Jake, is also a very successful actor.
Great. Fantastic.
Yeah. So amazing.
Fantasticer. And my daughter, Electra, who's the first professional photographer for bands in Nashville, rock and roll bands, country bands.
And Luke is an actor.
Amazing.
Huh?
Luke is an actor.
Luke is an actor. Luke is a star baby. He's a star child. He came to us straight from heaven.
Yeah.
And he brought heaven right in here with him.
Wow.
very bright, very creative energy like nothing else. Always find something to do that's creative and is fun with his imagination, his purpose, and his truth. Imagination, purpose, and truth are three strong elements that everyone owns within themselves. Yay!
Yeah. Wow. I, you might have already answered my next question, but do you have advice for Luke starting now, or advice that you gave to Jake, and maybe advice for all the actors or performers, musicians out there watching now? Do you have any advice for all of them, or
The
that?
word advice is not in my vocabulary. It's called information of growing. It's
Perfect.
called information of what you know. It's
Yeah.
called information of what you want to know and where you want to go. You listen to the person you're talking to, and then you can give them information from what they're telling you.
Mm.
And it's really safe that way. And it makes that person you're talking to feel like love, to feel like thanks, feel like yay, all positive.
Well, I can speak for everyone watching. We feel your love. We give you thanks for all of the information you provided us over these 45
Oh,
minutes.
listen, thank you. It's an honor
Yeah.
to be here with you guys.
We really appreciate it. Get the book now. It's available on the Wizard World site at wizd.me slash.
Get that book.
What's up?
Get that book.
Get that book. My gosh, this has been amazing. I could talk to you all day long and go camping with you sometime. Thank you so much for joining us. The one-on-one video chats will be happening in about 15 to 20 minutes. You can still purchase those as well. But thank you.
I was telling the audience. He's talking to the audience.
Oh.
Yeah, just talking to the audience, Gary, and telling them about all the amazing experiences they can have with you. But I want to thank you, legendary film actor, musician, best-selling book, life guru. Thank you so much, Mr. Gary Busey, everybody.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Thank you,
Thank
Gary.
you.
Thank you.
Questions are great.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Woo, man, amazing, amazing. What and such a retrospective, introspective. The information we got from that amazing individual was super fun to watch, and I hope you enjoyed it at home as well. We are Wizard World Virtual Experiences. I will be hanging here on the chat and answering some Twitch questions or any Facebook questions that come through. Remember, this is free, but if you are able to, if you'd like to purchase a once-in-a-lifetime one-on-one chat with Gary, those are still available over the next chunk of time as he is doing them. You can also purchase autographs, autograph photos, also an autographed copy of his book, Buseyisms, Gary Busey's Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth. So please check out that. All of that can be found at wizd.me/virtual. If you do have a one-on-one chat, you can head to that link now. Question from the fans: how do we pick the photo? Unfortunately, Les Dudis, due to sort of the current circumstances, you're unable to choose the photo, as we'll be sending them to Gary and he'll be sending them back and then sending them to you. But we are allowing some basic customization. So yeah, just given the current situation and scenario that we're in right now. So unfortunately can't do that. But the video recorded message, you can totally personalize and have Gary wish your loved one or your child happy birthday or whatever you like. So definitely check that out. And my gosh, check out that book. I'm so upset that it was supposed to come yesterday and I'll be getting it next Monday. So I'm definitely going to follow up on that as well. But again, now is your chance throughout the rest of this evening. Buy your one-on-one video chats now. Check out those autographs, book signings, and video recorded messages. Those will be available throughout the night. Please come on back here. We are streaming live on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. You can also follow us at Wizard World on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of the social medias, because we are trying to bring this con family, this con life, the convention scene to the safety of your home. So we hope you're staying healthy and staying safe. We've got some amazing panels coming up. Any of my anime or manga fans out there, up next on Thursday, this Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, might be subject to change, is the cast from Ruby. I just watched a bunch of that yesterday. What an amazing series. In addition to, again, one of the most popular anime series of all time and currently on TV, the cast of My Hero Academia, next Tuesday, April 28th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And then next week wraps up with the cast of Outlander on Thursday, April 30th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So keep checking it out. We're going to make some announcements today and tomorrow for other casts, other amazing actors and musicians and sports legends coming to the Wizard World virtual experience. WizD.me/virtual. Also head to the Wizard World Vault. That's wizardworldvault.com to purchase previous signed memorabilia and amazing works of art from our vendors and artists. I know, Clancy Knox. Outlander 2. We're going to be featuring some of the cast members from season 1 and 2 in this first experience. And then, wink, wink, we haven't announced it yet, but there's plenty more to come from there. So again, just keep following us at Wizard World on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for those announcements. If you want to submit questions for these panels, you can always follow me. I am Mike G. My tag is at Mike G Does Things. Shout out to all of you for all the love, and thank you for joining us. That is Wizard World Virtual Experiences Q&A with the legendary Gary Busey, everybody. Have a great night. Stay safe. Stay healthy, everyone.